Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for your time. How do you feel when you are on Saturday wrestling in front of more than 40,000 people?
How will I feel?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Um, at Money in the Bank on my entrance, it was really hard to stay in the zone and play the evil queen and kind of have that scowl smirk on my face. I was just smiling ear to ear. Like to see the fans, whether they were cheering or booing or bowing down to me in the audience standing. I was just so happy. So to feel that at SummerSlam, knowing how many people are going to be there, um, I plan on soaking it all in and giving them um, my best and stealing the show.
Let's come next to Mitch over in the UK.
Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for your time today. I wanted to ask you about your two opponents this weekend at SummerSlam and how you feel they've progressed in the last 6 months. Rhea's obviously made her home on Raw on the main roster in the last 6 months, and Nikki as well, as almost a superhero, has gone from not really being on cards to being in title matches on pay-per-view. How do you feel they've progressed?
So I'll start with Rhea. I could not be more proud of her. She has really come into her own. She's owned it. And at Money in the Bank, I believe that was the first time. Well, it was the first time that her and I against each other were able to show the world what we were capable of with having an audience, because we have faced each other multiple times, but without an audience. And seeing her growth, seeing her take the ball and run with it, seeing her being thrown in high pressure situations, WrestleMania with me, WrestleMania with Asuka. We have been working live events against each other. And when I look across that ring, I go, she really is going to be the future of this division. And I'm extremely proud of her. Set aside our storyline, set aside my character. She's really come a long way. Nikki, you really just have to give her the proper credit for taking the character that she was and completely just going for it, evolving, changing, saying, this is what I was, this is what I'm going to become. And when we had those beat the clock moments against me and against Rhea going into Money in the Bank for Rhea and I, leading up to our story, you could just tell the crowd was 100% behind her. And she took that moment and ran with it. And here she is now, the Raw Women's Champion. But even though I say these nice things about both of these ladies, I'm still walking out the 12-time Women's Champion at SummerSlam.
Let's come next to Karan in India.
Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for having us. I just want to ask you, you talked about feeding off the crowd's energy. When Nikki Ash cashed in the Money in the Bank, there was a massive crowd eruption and the crowd really cheered for her. Rhea Ripley keeps getting cheered from crowds. There was even chants for Becky Lynch. Do you feel much more pressure when the crowd is, not cheering for you, or do you feel more more wanting to reply back to them and stuff like that?
The fans have cheered for me. The fans have booed. The fans have, stood and bowed down. They chanted at me. They have pretty much said everything they can say to me. And the best part of that is that they're reacting to me. When they stop making noise, then we're going to have a problem. But I feed off of that. I want them to react. I want them, whether they hate me that day, whether they love me that day. I love it. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, that's part of being a performer. If they're not reacting, then you have a problem.
Let's come next to Nils at Build.
Charlotte, when you look at the main event of SummerSlam and you see like John Cena there and Goldberg, is your feeling that they take away the spotlight of younger talents?
Ask that again.
Do you think they take away the spotlight of younger other talents when they're in the main events, the older guys like Goldberg and John Cena?
So I'm not going to speak for other talent. I'm going to speak for myself. When I know I have the opportunity to be on the same card as someone like John Cena, someone like Goldberg, I look at it as a test to show I don't care who's on this card. I'm the best WWE superstar, man or woman, and I'm going to show that no matter who they're bringing to the table. It's an honor to have John Cena. It's an honor to have Goldberg on the card. But that's how I look at it. I look at it as a challenge. I look at it as an opportunity. And I'm speaking just for myself. If I can go out there at SummerSlam and prove that I am the best performer, that I'm going to steal the show and no one can follow that match, that's what I'm going to do, man or woman.
Thank you.
Next, we'll come to Alex McCarthy.
Hey, Charlotte. Thanks for taking the time with us today. I just wanted to touch on, obviously, you're going to be challenging for the title again this Sunday, but we've seen reports again about Queen of the Ring perhaps surfacing as well. Being that you are the Queen, I think fans obviously see you so integral to the concept if that were to come to fruition. What are your thoughts on there being a first ever Queen of the Ring and the opportunities that would bring so many of the talented women on the roster?
Well, one, I think it's great because of the opportunities it brings. It allows multiple women to be highlighted, maybe even from NXT, and everyone to get involved. But being that I'm already the queen, if it was to happen, I believe whoever wins it has to face me. Since I am the queen of queens, right?
Naturally.
Like, I don't think I have to be in it. I already have the title. I think they should have the opportunity to face me if they win.
And then you're on pay-per-view. It's Queen versus Queen. I like it.
Whoa. It won't be queen versus queen. It'll be queen versus the woman who won the tournament. Okay.
There you
Let's
go.
get something right.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you.
Let's come next to Julio at La República in Peru.
Okay.
Julio, there we go.
I just
Please go ahead.
question. So, Charlotte, after your win in Money in the Bank, you are an 11 times women's champion, 2 times NXT. And after those accomplishments and great matches, here in Latin America, it revived the debate over whether Charlotte is the greatest of all time, with many specialized websites putting you in the top of the list. So how does that make you feel? Or is that something you have on your mind maybe every time you perform? Thank you.
No pressure. It's not necessarily something that I think that I'm thinking about consciously when I'm walking out of Gorilla onto the stage, but it is something that I go, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to be remembered as. That's what I want to be, or how I want to be referenced to or looked at. So I do put that pressure on myself when I am performing, but I do know that it's part of what drives me, that I want to be that good.
Okay, thank you.
We'll come next to Elva at Columna Serra in Spain.
Hi, Charlotte. I want to ask you
Hi.
about the woman. I want to ask you about the women's division. How has it changed since you started?
How has it changed?
Yeah, the women division.
I think for how I think it's most changed is the women have always been talented. The women have always been fighting for opportunities. But I think over the last couple of years, what the women have done have been able to, for example, there are 3 women's matches on SummerSlam this weekend. Now, if there wasn't, that would be unnormal. Now it is normal to have, I think that's the right word. Now it is normal to have 3 matches. So highlighting the women being the main event, being center stage is very much expected. It's not, oh my gosh, can you believe it? So I think that's really what has changed, is the use of the women. And now you're not surprised when you see multiple storylines threaded throughout the show, because we have that much talent.
We'll come next to Alistair at Metro in the UK.
Hi, Charlotte. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. I know we're going into SummerSlam this weekend, and it's been 2 years since you faced Trish at the same event in a sort of great match. I was wondering, what do you kind of remember about your emotions and preparation that night, getting to work with Trish? And how do you rate your own growth since that night?
She's Trish Stratus. Like, she had nothing to prove. Like, I was just it was really hard for me to sit there and be like, I am facing Trish Stratus. Like, that was a concept that I really couldn't grasp. But I just kept thinking, like, one, she wants to come out of retirement, not retirement, but she'd been away, correct?
Yeah.
And wants to face me. And the pressure of that, the pressure of living up to being the Charlotte Flair that she wants to face, or she thinks that I'm that good, or that what she expects, living up to all those, I guess, things of how she felt about me to want to face me. And then Trish Stratus had nothing to prove. I had everything to prove. And the pressure of all that, I don't know how I kept it together, but I just thought to myself, be the best Charlotte Flair, be the opponent that she thinks you are when you're out there. And it's one of those moments that I don't think you'll ever be able to recreate. Who thought that you would see Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam? And it was just incredible. And to see her be in her hometown, and, you know, she didn't miss a beat. I was very honored.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for your time.
Let's come next to Vicente at Marca in Spain.
Hola, Charlotte, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien. Thank you so much for being with us today. I wanted to ask you, because we've been together in a few conference calls, and you always said the Royal Rumble 1992 is your favorite Royal Rumble of all time, because your father obviously won the championship that night. Talking about SummerSlam, do you have any special moment like this one, any special, let's say, that is so special in your heart as well, like this one?
You mean like my favorite SummerSlam?
Yeah, your SummerSlam moment or event.
Well, I guess I'd have to be facing Trish Stratus. I was facing a legend, and we weren't in the title picture. It was just a story talking about two women who, from different eras, one night only, SummerSlam, going against each other. I mean, that's definitely the highlight of my SummerSlam, even in the past.
Thank you.
Let's come to Matt Connell in the UK.
Hey, Charlotte, thank you very much for your time. Going into this SummerSlam, how focused and prepared do you feel going into this? Because, of course, being SummerSlam, all kinds of surprises can happen. Not only, you know, you're dealing with Nikki Ash, Rhea Ripley, who are doing everything to kind of keep out the picture and gain an advantage. Nia Jax at the end of Monday Night Raw didn't look too happy with you, taking a tag, taking that moment. And also the crowd always trying to will Becky Lynch's name anytime that you're in that ring. And of course, being the platform of SummerSlam and loads of people being there, everyone's going to, you know, take an opportunity to seize that moment. So how focused and prepared are you for, you know, all these possible distractions that could happen?
If it's one thing I do, is I always seize the moment. So I'm not worried about it.
There we go. Let's go to Carlos at Carlos Gasco.
Hi, Charlotte again. My question is, what do you think about the character of Nikki Cross, Nikki Ash now?
I think it's incredible to see what she has she went from one extreme character to another, and that's very hard to do. And it's incredible that she just completely went for it. And the creativity behind it, the thought behind it, the belief behind it. It's very inspiring to see someone just go for it and believe in what they, what she stands for. And not as a character, but from an outside perspective looking in, it's awesome. The message that she's sending is incredible for kids.
We're going to take our final couple. So let's start with Marie. I think we have Maria Vargas over in Latin America.
Hello. Yeah, it's Maria Vargas. Thank you so much. Charlotte, what would you describe this year, 2021, in Money in the Bank and now in SummerSlam for you?
How will I describe it?
Yeah, how I describe it is...
Yeah, it's the year of the opportunity.
Let's take our final question from Ash Rose in the UK.
No pressure as usual, Joel. Hi, Charlotte. I wanted to ask you about your SummerSlam record, actually. You're 4-0. You've become Miss SummerSlam. Is that a moniker you take seriously? Are you creating a legacy at this event?
Ask me that again. I'm sorry.
I was wanted to talk about your SummerSlam record. You are unbeaten at SummerSlam. It's like you're becoming Miss SummerSlam. How do you take that? And is it a record you're proud of?
Being undefeated at SummerSlam?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't realize that until I saw a statistic online. I was like, oh yeah, I am undefeated at SummerSlam. That's pretty cool. So of course I'm going to go in saying I'm undefeated at SummerSlam, that Rhea and Nikki have to beat me to end that streak. But it also is just a reminder of all the opportunities and big matches that I've been able to be a part of and just how special SummerSlam is. It almost feels like a WrestleMania.